How did you guys settle on the name 10/6?
It was a process. We literally had names on a whiteboard and we would vote on them and then like mark ones off if we didn't get enough like check marks. Like we had a whole list of, do you guys want to describe it?
We almost got into arguments over it.
Yeah, so we went through all the good ones.
Scratched them out. He didn't like any of them.
We had to get all the good ones out of the way.
Debate.
It was debates.
Give it up for Henry and his guitar player.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Tulsa Tempo podcast. My name is Amy, and I'm your hostess. Thank you for tuning in. Today, as usual, I should say, we're coming from the beautiful Blue Couch Studios, which is right across the street from the church studio here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, on Studio Row. Today, we have a pretty cool episode. We're here for the Carneyfest 2025, and we got the opening band, 10/6, that kicked off this whole festival on Saturday. They are here with us. So welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, we're happy to be here.
Introduce yourselves. Let us tell the world who you are.
My name is Dave Scott. You know, like you said, we're 10/6 out of Broken Arrow. We play at Broken Arrow Brewery quite a bit. We're the house band there. We've been playing around town for a few years now, and which seems crazy. It doesn't seem like it's that long. And, you know, honestly, one of the things when we were getting together, one of the things I really wanted to do with this band was play Carneyfest. So it took a couple years for us to get to that point, and now we're there, and we could not be more excited.
Yeah, you opened the show. How cool is that?
Exactly. So super exciting. I mean, it's the thrill of my life. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, Dave, I guess that was a really long answer as to who you are. That's me, Dave, and I'll pass it on over to Aaron.
Don't mind him. He's the talkative person of the band.
That's why he's in that chair.
Yeah, this is the talker's chair.
We figured this out, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My name is Aaron Pride. I'm the drummer of the bands. I've been a Tulsa musician for about 15 years now. I play with several different bands, including these guys, and I'm also a professional fill-in drummer on the side.
Nice. A professional fill-in.
Professional fill-in.
Who have you filled in for?
Some weeks are filled with a country gig one night, a blues gig one night, a rock gig the next night. I like it. I like get thrown into those situations where some people would get scared of sinking. I love it. Let's see if I can make it.
Yeah, how cool.
I love it.
And he's on the list at the church too.
Yes. I am now officially on the list for studio drumming.
How cool is that?
It's very nice. Personally, it's very validating as far as recognition for my talent and for what I do best. There's what I feel I do best.
I love it. That's great.
Thank you.
How cool is that?
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Hello. My name is Henry Bell, and
play guitar.
I play guitar, sing a bit. We do. I play solo too, and of course with the band, and it's something I love to do. It's just a good time all the time.
What did you think about playing the stage today at Carneyfest? You looked
cool.
quite comfortable up there.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Good.
I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
Pretty bad at this kind of thing.
No.
You look good.
I'm more
you look good. You look the
more
part,
of a player. I'm
than a talker.
Than a talker. This is not good.
He talks with his guitar.
There you go.
But yeah, so anyway,
so
I'm going to move on to the next person.
I'm Clayton, Ussery. I play guitar. I like long walks on the beach, holding hands,
no doubt,
romance, usual stuff.
Little romance.
Yeah.
Nothing's in his ear.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
Is that right?
Yeah. Stoked to be here at Carneyfest. Super exciting. Love the sound. Love being outside. The weather's phenomenal.
Could not have asked for a better day.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The best weather in 3 years.
Right.
Awesome. The sound was off the charts, which we could hear pretty good when we were playing, but we were listening afterwards to the video and stuff. And those guys, Gary and Larry and all those guys are just the best. You
Yeah.
know,
Whoever
they
did the
killed
main PA sound was
Yeah.
phenomenal, just super
Yeah.
nice and great to work with.
it. Yeah.
They all are though. They're just
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
just
They
top
are the best.
top tier.
Yeah,
top
no
tier.
doubt.
Yeah. So I just thought it was great that y'all got to open the fest. That is just
Yeah,
so
we were
cool.
so excited. Yeah, I was talking to Teresa at the Canes, and she said, she was like, "Oh, we got to get you guys moved to later in the day." And I was like, "Yeah, that does sound cool, but we were, honored to get to kick it off, And I was like, "Oh, we got to play a Leon song to kick off the festival," and we did.
And that's what you opened with. What Leon song did you open with?
Yeah, we opened with Delta Lady,
Yes.
and we kind of did the Joe Cocker version. And, that's a pretty strong song to come with at like 11 o'clock in the morning. We met at the brewery, Broken Arrow Brewery, to kind of run through the song a couple times. And, my voice was, morning, how it is, especially this time of year with all the allergies and junk. But by the time we got up here, it was, once you get the, energy flowing,
Absolutely.
I guess, and it turned out to just be great. And the crowd was great. We had tried to get people here. It's, it can be hard to get people there and sitting in the chair at 11 in the morning.
You had some, I noticed
there were a lot of people
when you
there,
guys were
though.
on stage that a lot of the artists, came out of the bus,
Yes.
like Anne was watching,
Yeah,
which is
yeah, I
just,
love her.
she was
Yeah.
watching Paul Benjamin turned up and he
Yes. Yeah, I love
actually
him.
stopped and watched and was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Gary Sizemore was over there,
Yeah.
Brad Abster was, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
all right. So
Yeah.
you caught the ear. It was
yeah,
good.
I love all those guys. Yeah, it was so good. We got a lot of great feedback, which is so sweet, and we had a great time. I mean, how
could
how
you
much
not?
better can life
Right.
get? I
Best
mean,
day
really,
ever.
totally. That's the way I feel about it. And I think we all do.
Yeah. It was definitely best day ever.
Yeah.
So the second, I think the second song that you did, I don't remember. I tried to write it down. I want to say Blue Eyes. Was that
Right.
your song, Henry? Okay. And you wrote that for your love, Lola.
Yes.
And I thought that was very nice. So we're going to listen to a little bit of Blue Eyes and we're going to cut into a little bit of Delta Lady. But Blue Eyes is a very good song. Henry wrote that for his love, Lola.
I see red.
Anyway, we talked about where y'all live, and you said you live on Bell Bottom Road, right? Or you're at the bottom of
that
Bell
was
Road?
that's a future endeavor.
Okay. But weren't you trying to think of a name for that? I thought of something else. I was thinking you could go Bell Lola, like Lola Bell.
That's
Something
like a
that.
World War II plane.
I like it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Or H Lola Bell.
Just plant a seed.
We're getting to the fancy stuff now.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's putting a bee in your bonnet.
Or bonnet, blue bonnet rose. I don't know.
There you
Anyway,
go.
so anyway, we talked about it. But anyway, that was a very sweet song, and I thought you did that very well. So we're going to listen to a little bit of that live from the Carneyfest that we got on video here. Also going to hear one by Clayton called Left Behind, which was very good. Clayton.
Well, thank you very much.
So tell me about that one.
I had fun playing it. That one's about my daddy. I have to say it like that because I'm from Louisiana.
Yes.
So daddy just comes out. Yeah, that one's about my dad. That was a song that I kind of rewrote a handful of times over the years. I'd pick it up. I mean, I started writing that song probably 25 years ago.
What?
And I would write a couple verses and just not ready to finish it. And I would kind of lose them on purpose. And then finally one day I just said, you know what, I'm going to finish it. Kind of more of a solo acoustic thing. I brought it to these guys and they said, yeah, I think it'll fit in the band. So
It was good.
that's
It was
pretty
definitely
standard
good.
now.
Seen hardships, Lord, and I've been knocked down, yeah. I felt places, yeah, now watch it go. Lord knows. I've wasted these days run me by. Miles I'm placing these miles on my plate. I know these miles on my plate. clear of my mind. Well, might I find arriving in my time? Yeah. Find your peace with your word mine. The road of peace in your love. Left behind.
And then we had Watchtower. You know, that was pretty smoking. I like that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Y'all did For What It's Worth.
Yeah,
you know,
also
that was
fun.
another one. It was, I mean, every song was just, it was so good.
Times, yeah.
So how did
Thanks.
you get your set list together? Because I know we talked about this before, and you said we were going back and forth on.
It's always a debate, and the more important the show, the more heavy the debate is. You know, you may have some gigs where, you know, I'll tell Clayton, you know, he's like, what do you want to play? I don't know, just play and I'll figure it out and I'll follow along. I don't really need to know. But this one was more serious, and I mean, we kind of had the debate of how many originals versus how many covers do we want to do, you know, and we kind of just talked it out, and that's kind of what we ended up with. I mean, because it's not just the songs you pick, you got to put them in the right order so they have, you know, a dynamic that you want to, you know, flow with, and you know, especially for shows like this, it's more than just writing songs down, you know, we had a discussion for days, you know, and then especially when you were like, oh, I need to get a set list, and now I got a deadline. And I told you, you know, the herding cats that we talked, trying to get everybody
All I want's
in,
a picture.
yeah, going in the right direction. But we got there, you know, and the set list that we came up with was, I thought, pretty
Perfect.
good, you know, so and that's usually how it goes, you know, and, you know, I feel like are open enough to be able to talk and speak our, you know, our feelings, you know, I guess. And, it turns out to be good stuff, you know,
So how long have y'all been playing together?
about 2 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Well,
Yeah.
except for me, I've only been in the band a year.
Yeah.
What made you decide to hook up with them, given all of your other activities, you know, or other jobs, I should say, that you do?
Well, actually, I was sought out after by Dave.
Went drummer hunting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we'd had a previous drummer, and he ended up moving to Oklahoma City. For his work. And then, we had no drummer for a while, and we were hunting around, and I went asking around, you know, my friends around town, you know, and, ended up coming upon Aaron, and then I went and watched him by myself at this place called Scooters, I think, that's kind of close to my house, kind of on like a stealth mode, you know, checking it out. And then I came back and talked to the guys, and I was like, hey, you know, we need to go check this guy out. And then we ended up going also to Scooters, I think, and then that just kind of went from there. And I mean, obviously he's great. You know, I mean, you can't get on as a drummer at the studio or church unless you're good.
You gotta be pretty
you
good.
know, and he's good. There's no question about it. So, I mean, we're stoked to have him. And I mean, it's been a year now. So it's like, it's pretty much seems like it's always been that way now that he's always been there. I mean, I don't really, you know, remember it hardly being much any other way but this point, you know. So then again, I just think it melds well. We all meld well together, you know. We're all good in our doing things individually, and then when it comes together, it's great.
Isn't it fun to go searching for artists?
Yeah, I
especially
mean,
in stealth mode. I love
yeah,
that.
exactly.
I do
Hunting
that
down,
for
keeping your head
this
low.
show a lot. You know, I can just kind of sit in the back and by myself and watch, you know, and I'm like,
Totally.
you know.
Yeah, and I'm really watching one person at
Right.
that point, you know. And I mean, obviously,
And also being who we are, you know, as a band together, and doing things on our side, and also being, you know, the sum of our parts.
right.
I do a lot of things on the side, and it's good to find a band, or just to be in a band longer than maybe one rehearsal or maybe one show,
Right.
that is equally good together as they are apart.
Right.
And that is one of the hardest things to find, not to mention hard to find in Tulsa.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody plays with everybody in Tulsa.
Exactly.
And obviously I've been here for a year, so there's obviously something good about this band. And obviously we're playing Carneyfest, so there's something to that as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know about these guys, but I could basically sum this band up in one word, which would be simpatico.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
No idea what that means.
We all melt together.
You melt.
Yeah, there are some musicians and some bands in life that you feel you were meant to play with.
Okay, well, that's very nice.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel about this band with all of the gigs and the bands that I've played in. And that is so hard to find.
Yeah. See, we're continuing to grow here on your couch. Just all the time.
Absolutely.
Anytime we get together, it goes
See,
good.
that's so sweet. Yeah, well, I'm happy I could help.
It is, and
We
it's
can
nice.
help.
Yeah, makes it easier.
Give it up for Henry and his guitar player. There must be some kind of way out of here. Said a joke to the thief. There's too much confusion. Yeah, I can't get no relief. Feels this method, drink my wine, yeah. Well, man, drink my herb. Love will ever, open my mind. Nobody offers his word. Hey. I missed my part. No reason to get excited. The thief kindness goes. There are many here wrong. Even life is but a joke. But you and I, we've been through that. That is not our fate. So let us not talk softly now. The hour's getting late.
So you play a regular gig, you said, out in Broken Arrow.
Right.
So do you have any other, any gigs that you do on a regular?
Really just
In
wherever
Tulsa,
we can.
or-
Yeah, really just, I mean, we've played everywhere from Thelma's to Kroner and Bear in Tahlequah to Sound Pony to, what was that place up in Claremore, that little, the Opry thing in Claremore. They got that.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
such
yeah,
a nice
that was a cool
place.
little
Well, I don't know if you've
place.
ever been there, but man,
Mhm.
they've completely redone like this old school,
old
maybe
converted
20s,
movie
30s
theater.
theater.
Yeah.
Really?
Movie
Oh,
theater.
What's it called?
Herons,
Okay.
Grand Ole Opry or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
And
it's cool.
is great.
I want to go see that.
Yeah, it's
Let me know when
super
you guys
cool.
play there again.
Yeah,
I'll come out.
super cool. So, I mean, so really just wherever, we have a few guys that kind of find stuff for us. And then, we also, try and find stuff here and there and try, meet with the owners of different places. was actually talking to the guys from Thelma's, I forgot, when I was over here working the bar at Carneyfest, and they want us to call them. But the people are just roaming about, you know, especially here at Carneyfest, because everybody's here, you know, and it's cool. You know, the scene is localized and small enough where you can just go up to people who are running the music or even owning these bars and just say, hey, can we come and play? And they're like, yeah. And then you can just text them, you know, I mean, you're not going to find something like that in like Nashville or Austin, you know, and it's still here, and the scene here is awesome, but it's still really, you know, tight knit and, you know, close, which is cool, I think.
It's not, Jared Tyler said, you know, Nashville scene, LA, Chicago, all those bigger places. He talked about how it's like somebody told him it was like a can opener, you know, trying to get in there.
Right.
And Tulsa's not like that.
No, it's not.
And
it's
that
much
is
more
so
accessible.
refreshing. It's so awesome.
No question. And I mean, Teresa here at the church is a huge part of that. I mean, things that she's done for the music scene here is unbelievable. You know, in preserving the Tulsa history, the music history. I mean, that's another thing, you know, that I was talking to her about, that we need to get it passed on to the next generation, you know, because a lot of the folks in Leon's age range, you know, in a, you know, a significant portion of the Leon lifers, they're starting to get, you know, to that point where it's even difficult for them to come here for Carneyfest. The ones that live across the country, you know, they're still coming strong, which is great, but we need to get people hearing, you know, Leon's music, putting out how big and how many influential stars were coming through here in the 70s that Leon was bringing here. I mean, a lot of people don't know that Bob Marley's first U.S. record was cut here across the street. People don't know that, but it's the truth. You know, people don't know that Eric Clapton and George Harrison had a house over here. Tom Petty had a house right over here that Leon bought for them. They just hung out here. They'd hang out at the fair, you know, and people have stories of them just standing there watching, smoking cigarettes. Watching the show, you know, just like they're everyday dudes, which is exactly the same as it is today. Very accessible people, you know, regardless of who they are, that you can just go up and talk to after the show, and everybody will be cool and help, you know, give you a leg up.
I noticed that in Tulsa, there's definitely an absence of ego, you know, with musicians in Tulsa. You know, I've lived in Chicago, I've been to Nashville, I've done LA, you know, all that. And Tulsa's really a breath of fresh air as far as, you know, getting on the scene.
No question.
It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And Teresa, you know,
she's the best.
God, that woman, I say she always has a feather in her cap. You know,
question.
She's always got something going on that just blows my mind. Continually blows my mind.
Absolutely.
So did y'all get to meet Ann Bell?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was standing over here. She was coming out of the church, and I was standing there talking to someone, and she was like,
Dave.
It was you?
Yeah.
It was you. And I was sorry. I was trying to work it out.
Good one, Dave.
Because I'm such a fan.
Yes.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah.
I was telling someone that story later because you were like, I wanted to cry when I was going to meet her. And I'm like, that is so sweet. And that gets right back to the accessibility of the artists here. I mean, Ann is a legend, obviously. And you can just walk right up and talk to her once you're ready emotionally to do that.
You had to walk me over. You're like, he's like, I'll go over there. I'm like, I'll go with you.
So sweet. Yes, I was like, I'll take you over there. You know, she's so sweet. And it's so, I mean, how many other places can you just, you know, somebody that you have such a strong connection to her music and be able to just walk up and talk to her and she talked to you
on her, and she was totally cool with that.
To you like we're talking right now. I mean, that's special, man. And I hope people think about that, you know.
Absolutely. You know, she loves Tulsa.
Yeah, she does. Tulsa. And she's a great ambassador. She has some of
the greatest stories ever.
No question. You know? She's hung out with everybody, you know.
And she's still got it too, man.
Yeah,
oh my
she is
God.
Lively.
She's just amazing. Just
Absolutely.
Amazing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So who else did you get to see today so far that you were kind of...
Well, I got to talk to Paul Benjamin for a little bit. I saw him. I saw Brad, like you were saying. I talked to him for a bit. Just everybody. I mean, this is kind of one of those things where everybody... I mean, these are my people. You know, that's what I was telling these guys as we're getting ready. These are I've been hanging out up here since almost since they opened. You know, I came up here just randomly to do a tour of the place because I was like, hey, they got Leon's place back open. That's super cool. And then after I had the tour, I was like, I got to come back here. So I got on the website and they had like, you want to be a volunteer? And it was during COVID. So I was like, oh, I got time. I'm working from the house. So I kind of work from the church, if you know what I mean, and do docent stuff, work the first Carneyfest, and then, you know, meet Teresa, meet Ronnie, and it just kind of goes from there. I mean, you can't say enough about those people.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel.
They're
about
wonderful.
It. They're the best.
And I think so far this has been the best Carneyfest.
Oh,
We've had great weather. Last year was thunder and lightning. Mike Campbell couldn't even play.
Yeah.
And then the year before, it poured too, didn't it? In
So the first year it was mega cold, and they had, what was that guy's name? It was the Rockabilly.
Was it Junior Brown?
No, it was Reverend Horton Heat.
Okay.
Reverend Horton Heat. And I remember him saying that it was so cold that he couldn't even move his fingers. He was like, I'm just like you guys in the audience watching me play. I have no idea. Like, my fingers are so cold. They're just on autopilot. Okay. And then last year we had Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs, but they couldn't play because a huge storm swept through.
Thunder, lightning.
Yes. Yeah. And then this year the weather was perfect. Perfect. Like from get up time. Like I was even thinking, oh, it's going to be kind of cool. I should wear a jacket. No,
man.
Especially once you get up there rocking on stage. It was perfect the whole day.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then, I mean, just couldn't ask for a better day. And that's what they sent out a thing to the docents where you kind of do a little review, you know, of feedback. And I was like, oh, best Carneyfest yet.
Yes, I agree. And more to come. Yeah. So, you know, this was not the first. Definitely not going to be the last.
Definitely
this was
not.
A great time.
Yeah.
So how did you guys feel about playing today?
I thought it was great. I got to say, probably one of my favorite bands of the day was Grass Crack.
Yeah.
They're so good, aren't they?
Yeah. And they were great. And I got to say, I am glad that they went after us because I would hate to follow them.
Yeah. Yeah, they were good.
Man, their stage energy was just great.
They had that room rocking.
They did.
You could hear them all the way downstairs.
Yeah.
Like when you're like, oh, that's Grass Crack. All right, hurry. You know, we have to get up there.
Yeah, so that's probably my pick for the day.
Okay, how about you, Henry?
Casey Latshaw and the rest of the gang that she brought with her, they were great.
Yeah, they were great.
And Zach actually kept his shirt on. Zach kept his shirt on. I know.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah,
Support
I have a photo of him without the shirt, and I said, I am sending that to your dad.
Oh,
I'm like, because you are not supposed to be running around like that in the cold.
That's it.
So yes, I was very proud of him for keeping his shirt on. So
we're pro shirts.
Yeah, but Cassie and Josh are they're so great. They're great.
Yeah,
That Cassie,
super nice
that
people.
girl can sing.
No doubt.
You know, my goodness. You know,
Yeah.
I love her song. Everyone's Big Deal in Nashville. That's probably my favorite cut by her. And then, second favorite because I love the Love and Let Go kind.
Yeah.
She just nails that. She's pretty good.
Oh yeah, she's pretty good. All right. Yeah.
Pretty
no
good.
question. Yeah. Sometimes when we go to some of these shows away, we'll put like the local artist on the Bluetooth in the truck and listen to some people, which is pretty cool. And because some people are putting stuff out all the time. And so you kind of got to have a place where you can go listen to it all, you know, and that's one great thing about Spotify.
I have a lot of local artists, which is the first time that in my life that I've had them like local people in heavy rotation on my playlist.
No question.
You know, Jared Hard, Jared Hard, yes, but Jared Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's great.
You know, he and Chris Combs, you know, I love all the little projects that he's involved with. I'm a huge fan. Paul Benjamin, you know, it is zero secret that I'm like,
huge fan.
His number one fan.
Yeah.
Didn't you love his outfit?
Yeah, I love all of his outfits.
He dressed, you know, he dressed for this one normally, but he still had the New Balance sneakers on.
Yeah,
you know, so.
he has the fancy coat.
I don't know. He got a little fancy for that. I'm like, what's up? He got a little fancy.
He's fancy. Yeah, he was also fancy with the headdress at the Halloween thing that they had at Mercury.
We were there. Yeah. I have tons of with the smoke.
Yeah,
and every time
that
smoke was going off like every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That whole place. Remember
it was
that?
all
Great.
smoked
I loved
out. Yeah, that was good times. He's always wearing
that
the
was a
fancy
great
outfit.
night. Yeah, that was. Didn't you pay him money to sing Monster Mash?
Possibly. I remember he
think
Monster
did.
Mashed the heck out of it.
Everybody was
mashed
bothering
those
him
monsters.
to play that, and he said he didn't know it very. I'm like, come on.
Oh,
and then I think
it.
you went up and didn't you give him like $50 or something?
Who
to do
knows?
that?
It's possible. I had several
is that
drinks
what he
by that
did?
point.
I seem to remember that. Yeah, and the next thing you know, he's got the music stand out,
Right.
and it's like, oh, he's gonna
here
do
we
it.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we
that
mashed
was
those monsters.
so
That was a
great.
good time.
That was a great night too.
It was a
that
great
was a
night.
really good Halloween.
I mean, we're still talking about it months later.
Right?
I've got some dancing videos.
There are videos.
I've got some videos floating around. So you doing the Monster Mash?
Yeah, there are. Yeah. That was something.
We had a ball.
That night was wild.
We had
as
a ball.
they tend to be.
Yeah, that was a ball. So what about you, Clayton? What was your favorite part so far today?
I mean,
Yeah.
Mullinex killed it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he is impressive.
Yeah.
The fiddle player, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
As
the
on
fiddle
patrol.
player.
is, I mean, just so much fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been one of my favorite sets of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Phenomenal.
killer.
Yeah, Johnny, he's lightning in a bottle. And
Yeah, he is.
I swear to God, every time I see him, he gets better.
Yeah.
And that band just gets tighter and hotter every time I see him.
Yeah. They're so good.
And they're having so much fun. It's so much fun watching them play because they're having a great time.
I love it when him and Tom Trapp and I think Nick is on bass. I can never remember. When they have to like steady themselves,
Right.
you know, because they're playing so hard.
Right.
And they kind of get in that little guitar circle, you know,
Sure,
and they
yeah,
have to
yeah.
like steady themselves because they're just getting down so hard. And now they have this fiddle player whose name escapes me as well. So if you're watching this, honey, hit me up and
You
tell me your name so
killed
I can
it.
talk about you.
Yeah. Killed it.
Very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they all have to steady themselves, you know, because they're playing
Yeah.
that hard. Yeah, that's something to see.
Yeah. Yeah, they're so good and get to travel all around. We hung out with his mom out back, the smoking area for a little
Mhm.
bit while they were playing. She's
And she has
good
a hot
time
little band, too,
Yeah,
you
she
know,
does.
they-
Yeah, his whole family is extremely
Yeah.
talented. His whole family.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, how lucky can you get that way to be getting that kind of influence out of the gate, you know?
Yeah. And they're
have-
so supportive. They're
yeah,
just so
I mean, that's
supportive
great.
of each
I mean,
other.
that's hard to
and
find.
bands, everybody in town. Janie's she's so wonderful. And
Yes.
we had them on the show. Thundersleet was here.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think they're one of the hottest female trios
Yeah.
and female bands in
Yeah,
Tulsa.
they're
I
good.
mean, they are very good.
Right. No
Yeah.
question.
Carmen
I mean,
Francis, Beth Turner, come on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
they're
that's-
doing a residency at Colony this month.
Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
and I mean that's like a unique kind of band, you know, to have, you know, 3 women and be able to have enough of a market here in Tulsa. So it's big enough to have markets even for something that may be a more, I don't want to go too far with it, but like a niche kind of genre and still have that kind of support, a big enough scene to have that, but it still be accessible,
Yeah,
you know? I mean, that's
exactly.
great. You can have, I mean, we went and saw, somebody was doing Funkadelic at, the Colony a few months ago.
Wasn't that
and they
Papa
were
Foster in them?
Do what?
Well, it was Chris Foster, right?
Yes,
so.
and
Yeah,
it
that's some
was
shit
next
right there.
level, and that place was packed, you know, and you had all different types
Oh,
of people,
that was
the
such a
whole
great show.
spectrum, and I mean, it was so cool. So you can have just a, you know, full bore funk show, you know, that's
Mm-hmm.
just packed to the gills. You can have, you know, a trio female. You can have a classic rock band. You can have, you know, a jazz band. I mean, Clayton's playing with David Hernandez tonight, and he kind of does a jazz thing that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so, and that has its whole support structure there, you know, so there's so many different things happening here, you know, and it's all, there's enough people to support it all, which is killer.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And our calendars fill up quick, don't they?
Yes, no
we talked
question.
about that before. It's like we look at our, like a Saturday night and it's like, okay, we have to plan it. You know, so
Yes.
okay, if we start here, we can stay for
Move
this
around.
set. And
Yeah.
then we got to hurry
Go
because we're
down
going to
the
go
road.
here because this one's going to hit at 8:30.
Mhm.
And then we can maybe go over here and catch the last one. You know, so they
Exactly.
and I love that. You know,
great job
I
to
can't
have.
get enough of it.
Yeah,
It's great.
no doubt.
So coming back to reality on a Monday is like, ugh.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It is.
I try to sleep in.
Yeah, it's not fun. So what else do you guys want to talk about?
We talked about you guys' song. Did we talk about Oklahoma Nights? You want to talk about Oklahoma Nights? Because that's a good one. That
It
always
is a
gets
very good
great. We get great feedback. It's a great song. It's probably the first original that we worked into our set, wasn't it? Oklahoma Nights. I mean, we almost named the band Oklahoma Nights when we were battling out for band names. You remember that?
True.
It's a little cold. Maybe tomorrow will be warm. Wear those blue jeans that look a little worn. Looks like that little house on the corner just sold. Feels like we're just beginning, but maybe we're getting old. at you. You're looking at me. Just think about those places that we would rather be. What do you think about what's going on in the world today? Might be a little crazy out there, so I think I'll play the same. Living all over night, nothing new. Living all over night, just talking to you.
The issue there is Henry wanted to make it Nights with a K, and Clayton and I, we hard noted it. So then
I could easily go the wrong direction, but now I was thinking like, no, we're all on like horses.
Yeah. So we were negotiating out of the gate.
Charging into Tulsa.
That's it. Charging into Tulsa. Yeah. And me and Clayton were like, no, man.
We're all dressed up like three amigos.
Yeah. No, man. We're not doing that. Yeah. So, but yeah. Good song.
Yeah.
Probably going.
I mean, it's a
first single of the next album.
I mean, it's just a simple, easygoing song, but it's one of those that can kind of be about whether you're just sitting around having a good time with your friends or just kind of describing a day in a life in Oklahoma or a night, I guess.
A night in Oklahoma, yeah. I love it. So, and that's kind of cool. It's going to be a single on the new record, which is going to be out when?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's it. We'll call it TBD.
Sometime at 26.
Yeah,
Okay.
TBD. I mean, so we got, we kind of all have our individual thing, and that's kind of how it goes. So we kind of had to find time to do more of the band thing. I mean, Clayton has, as we were talking about, he just had recorded an entire album over at the church that had just released, right? And I mean, we probably should talk about that for a minute.
Is it released yet? Is it done?
Not yet.
It's
I
released.
think
I thought you had to go in and
June 15th, I
polish on it.
think. I did the rest of my polishing, so it's in the queue.
A nice.
June 15th.
Yay!
Yeah, so that's soon.
That's exciting.
Yeah, what's the name
and
of
it's
it?
good.
The Road to Kenwood Hills.
Okay.
A little bitty Kenwood Hills is out in Broken Arrow, kind of
Okay.
at the end of Main Street. I used to live in this little bitty suburb there that I
Okay.
loved. That's been there since about 54 in Broken Arrow, and one of the old houses that was built even before the BA was there. So I used to live in a great old house during COVID.
Oh, how cool.
So I kind of wrote the record leading up to that, and I thought that's an appropriate name.
That's very
And luckily, these guys were nice enough to take on one of my songs that I did. So one of the songs that we do is going to be on the record. So that's great. A little different version of it. It'll be a lot of fun doing it with these guys though, and putting it on a full band record, because my record's only acoustic. So, kind of a little more stripped down.
Yeah. It's pretty.
And that's
though.
Left Behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one. How did you guys settle on the name 10/6?
It was a process. We literally had names on a whiteboard, and we would vote on them and then mark ones off if we didn't get enough check marks. We had a whole list of, do you guys want to describe it?
We almost got into arguments over
Yeah, so
Yes.
we went through all the good ones.
Scratched
We
them
landed
out.
on
Scratched them
that.
out. He didn't like any of them.
We had to get all the good ones out of the way.
debate.
It was debates. Yeah, it was a process. Henry's not a huge fan of the name. That's okay. Now we're kind of stuck with it at this point, which we knew was going to happen, which is why we took it so seriously. But yeah, I do feel bad for Henry. He's not a huge fan of it.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Hey, if
Part
I
of it was
warm up
like-
to it, you can too.
Yeah, got to warm up to it.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Yeah, what were
I didn't
those
have anything
really
better, to be
process?
fair. So
Yeah,
I just wanted to sit there and
I don't have
complain.
anything better.
I know I
I was
have.
the new guy, so I said nothing.
Right. Yeah, I would text him. He wasn't there. I'd be like, hey, we got it down to this and this. Do you want to vote?
Brick and mortar. You had brick and mortar. That was one of yours.
Brick and mortar. Yeah, that was one. I remember that. Brick and mortar.
Well, so no, because I was trying to think of something where, something that has to do with what we do and where we always hang out and the brewery. I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, exposed brick.
Right. Yeah, that was one of his names. Like,
Brick
he's just
and
like
mortar.
looking around.
There's a lot of brick.
Like, you know.
There's a lot of brick
wood
names.
wall. Black couch.
Yeah. Green room.
Yeah. Then we had
room,
one,
yeah.
we had Henry, we had Dave. We were just going to call it like one of our names. Remember that?
Yeah, somebody and friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody and friends. We had all kinds of weird
Here
names.
and friends.
Oh, okay.
We ended up with 10 over 6, which is an Alice in Wonderland reference.
Right.
It's on the Mad Hatter's hat.
Yes.
And it's
Right.
on Dave's hat.
Show it.
Nice hat, Dave.
I don't know which sign
It's on there. There it is.
Booyah.
Other way.
Booyah. I think Austin came up with that name. So Austin owns Broken Arrow Brewing Company, and he had sent me like in a text we had, we're kind of doing a text group with all the people throwing out ideas. And I see 10 over 6 and I think it's like a math problem or something. I'm like, is this a fraction? Do I got to get out a calculator? And then so I come back and I'm like, what is this? He's like, oh, that's an Alice in Wonderland thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. That makes sense. And now I'm kind of into it because I'm into Alice in Wonderland.
Absolutely.
And then come to find out, Henry couldn't dislike Alice in Wonderland anymore. So it kind of, didn't work out for him.
Aw.
Yeah. I
I've
didn't-
never
I
seen
feel
the
that way.
movie or like
Aw.
read the story.
Yeah.
But it's been long enough to where I'm kind of proud of it.
Yeah, there we go. It's coming around. See,
You
we're
gotta- I
growing
think you gotta
again.
make
We're
that
growing
commitment,
again.
man, because that's a very good move.
It is.
I
It's a
know.
great,
My
it's a
It's only
great
favorite
story.
it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
Tell us where we can find y'all on your socials.
Yeah, so we're on Facebook at 10 over 6. It's spelled out TEN. And also you can look at any of our Facebook pages, Clayton's, Henry's, Aaron's, mine. And I know they should link right over to it. And we have some of our personal music on there as well. I think we, have Spotify's that we're constantly putting stuff out on. They're all under our names also. And then, if there's anything you're looking for that you can't find, just reach out to me. I'm generally around town or, on the interweb somewhere and I can point you in the right direction. But we really appreciate all the support we've been getting. I mean, we couldn't be more excited to be here. And, we finally got to come and meet with you. We'd had it pre-scheduled before and then we had babies get involved and emergency, deliveries, which, yay, exciting. And
Had
with
to
that
hang
kind
out
of
at the hospital a few days.
yeah. And
Little
then it turned out, again, it all worked out for the best. Some people get kids, we get a Carneyfest invite. So everybody's happy, really.
It all worked out.
Yeah, it all
Well,
worked
thank
out,
you guys so much for being here. I'm so glad that we were able to work this out, and especially Carneyfest weekend, man.
Yes, the best. And if you can't make it this year, come out next year. I mean, it is great. And considering that it gets better every year, it's only going to get better. There's a night show at the Canes. If you're into that kind of thing, I mean, that is just Tulsa music history to its core, and great venue, great acts. Come out, support the local scene, support Teresa, support all the great people that are here. I mean, it's
Maybe you
just
get to hang out with us.
yes,
'cause we're
hang out
always
with
there.
us. Come say
we're
hey.
everywhere, so y'all can hang out with us.
I mean, come say hi. Everybody's super friendly, and just everybody we can get out here. We're just into it.
Yeah, we're usually out in the smoking pit on the
Yeah,
breaks.
it could be in the smoking area,
hang out,
or
yeah.
just hobnobbing about.
Mhm.
Just glad handing everybody,
Everybody.
making
Yes.
connections,
Pictures. Yes.
pictures, no doubt, pictures
Making
and video.
memories. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you so much. And thank you all for tuning in to the Tulsa Tempo podcast. And we'll see you next time.
I